got a gig, I got a gig. I need to move on to this and focus on this. And that's what he needed to do. I just finished Brave and the Bold. And again, when it was announced, I had already been doing the job for 2 years.
Oh, no.
This is like, in animation time, things happen a lot. We were working on this, war a year ago. So I had been doing the job long before they had announced it. And, he was working on Green Lantern and stuff. So it was very, very smooth and not a big deal.
Out of the Justice League episodes you worked on, do you have a favorite?
Oh, that I worked on? Oh, I have to remember them all. Oh gosh, I like Question Authority.
Okay.
I like that whole Cadmus arc we did. I like Justice League Unlimited. Of Justice League, I think I like Legends, the one where they go into the 50s Silver Age world. So I like that one. I like a lot of them, but those are the ones.
And are there any that stand out that if you could go back, you would do something different with?
Oh well, the whole first season of Justice League would be different. I don't know.
Oh, you want to make them all standalone?
Well, that's the other thing. When we were doing, when we started Justice League, we just assumed, it's got 7 characters. We're going to need to make them 2-parters. So that's what we did, and it became a burden to kind of fill that much time. And the pacing of them, I think, is a little slow. I think we fixed it by season 2. And then Unlimited, we said, screw that. Because we knew we were going to be focusing on the individual characters within the series. We knew they didn't require 2-parters, and that really. And then it also allowed us to arc it even more, like, have characters be disconnected and then bring them together in a later episode and stuff. And it was much more liberating. I mean, that was a fun series to work on. I mean, it was hard, really hard, but once we cracked the code on it, as Bruce would say, it became a lot easier to do from a story standpoint.
Depending on how many movies you sell, does that help, like, let's say Justice League War does the best it's ever done, kills Flashpoint sales, everything. Does that make it so that Warner Brothers is now interested in actually producing a new TV show?
Oh, I don't know if I don't think our home video sales don't affect. I think what anyone in any other division does. You mean animated TV series?
Yes.
No. We're kind of, everything is kind of separated. If TV wants a Justice League episode, regardless of what we've done in the home video, they'll do it.
Okay.
It's more of a trickle down thing. So if a movie comes out, like if there's a Justice League movie, live action, then there'll most likely be an animated series of some sort connected to it.
Got it.
But it's, home video is kind of a little rung down. Not to say, but it's a different market. So.
Do you think as his situation was, if the sales for Justice League War are so great, do you think the next movie that you guys do could possibly be in theaters? Not just right to DVD?
That's the kind of thing where if you're going to do a movie for theater, there's a whole set of criteria as far as aspect ratio, and I don't know if I'd want to see television animation or DVD animation blown up on the 70 foot screen.
Okay.
So that we'd have to take that into consideration. So that's something we'd have to know going in. I don't know.
If you guys could have continued with Justice League now, would you have preferred any other characters to add or other storylines? Like maybe you could have added in like Power Girl or like other characters like that, or maybe use the Crime Syndicate. Because I know the Justice Lords were based off of the Crime Syndicate because you couldn't use the Crime Syndicate back then.
Well, I don't remember why we couldn't, but I think Better World, that was the episode we were going to use them in, was much a better story because we didn't use them.
Yeah, the Justice Lords were a great addition.
Yeah.
They were really great.
And then later on, the Crime Syndicate showed up in Justice League Crisis, which was the script that we would have done to bridge Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. That was the actual story that was written that was going to serve as a bridge between those two series. And then it didn't happen. But then later, they actually made the movie. So, I don't know. We would have... by the time we finished Justice League Unlimited, we were pretty tapped out. There's a fatigue point you reach after you've done so many episodes with characters, and then you need a break. And because then you don't want to repeat yourself, you don't want to lose steam, you don't want people to forget about you while you're still on the air. You'd rather be missed than, oh, they're still on, or you don't want to wear out your welcome. So I think it ended when it needed to, and nothing stays dead forever. So
You feel bad about what you feel bad about how Justice ended without being able to finish what they had planned?
and then what's the last part?
Sorry. Well, what do you think about Young Justice then?
Oh, Young
they
Justice?
kind of
Oh.
ended like years before.
Oh,
they
right,
put
yeah,
this.
yeah. Oh,
But
well,
they have. What did
well,
they say,
it's
like
a different,
5-6 years? or
it's a
something?
different climate for superhero action shows, and they kind of go up and down.
Yeah.
And I think they got caught into a situation where, things are changing on television for animated things, and I think a show like that would have been great for Netflix, and I think they're actually really doing well on Netflix as far as downloads and things. So that may be the next place for a show like that. I just don't think it didn't seem like it was a great fit for Cartoon Network, and they're finding action in general is not doing as well on the kids networks, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because kids now have access to video games they can play where they can have as much action as they want and they can control it, or for whatever reason. But as far as for binge viewing, I think a show like Young Justice, Justice League too, will do well, and I think that's probably the future. That's the home that we will be in as far as television goes eventually. That's my own personal feeling, which I welcome it, because you won't have the same restrictions. You can do like a limited mini-series that can tell a really controlled story. You don't have to worry about selling toys,
You don't have to deal with networks like saying, we're going to air you for 3 episodes and we're taking 5 months off.
Yeah.
And we're going to air another episode.
No, you deliver all the episodes, and then the audience can look at them whenever they want. They can watch them all at once. They can watch them. So it's much. I think I look forward to that myself personally.
So there's some talk about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The industry is all wondering what Netflix is going to do next.
Yeah.
How that, it's happening with the live action already, and I think it's just a matter of time for animation to catch on to that. So, and I'm looking forward to us being able to capitalize on it somehow, somewhere.
When it comes to like animated movies, like we have Justice League War, we've had Crisis on Two Earths. Do you guys sit down and have a discussion on? Do you guys could you if you could personally pick a storyline from DC that you would want to do? Do you guys get to pick, or it's something that just seemed popular at that time? Like maybe something like Batman Last Arkham could be a good animated movie, or do you guys just like have like your own ideas that you want to use for animated movie?
It's a little bit of both right now. Clearly this Justice League War is adapting Justice League Origins, and the next one is an adaptation. But when we say adaptations, we do mean loosely adapted. It's not going to be, you won't be able to thumb through the graphic novel and look at the movie and say, oh, which to me would be really boring. From that point on, it'll be a mixture of things. And basically the way we do it is we sit with DC and home video. There's representatives from each division, and we figure it out. We come up with a pitch, and they decide if they think they can sell it. And it's kind of that way. It's very informal. I mean, it's not a, we know if there's a big movie coming out, like if there's a Superman movie, we know, okay, well, we should do at least one Superman movie that year. So it's not, it's not rocket science.
So are we going to see a World's Finest before the live action World's Finest?
Not necessarily a standalone. Maybe in the context of a Justice League movie, we'll feature Batman and Superman more. There's some stuff I can't talk about because it's too far in advance. So,
yeah.
but definitely there'll be some aspect of that coming up. So that's pretty much all I can say about that.
So so to correspond with the DC live action universe, I know we've had Superman, we have the Superman movie, we're having World's Finest. Like I know we're having a lot of other things in time for Justice League. Are we going to see like another like Captain Marvel or Aquaman or Wonder Woman, or just something to hype us up in the animated universe before we get to the live action Justice League universe?
I kind of think, like the way we're setting it up, it's easier for us to do a Wonder Woman featured Justice League movie, meaning the story is about something to do with her, but it's a Justice League movie. That way, home video thinks they can, sell it better, rather than doing standalones. Because the Green Lantern movie didn't do so hot. The Wonder Woman movie didn't do so hot, despite what you see online as far as statistics. Pretty much, and sometimes Superman doesn't even sell well. So it's safer to do a Justice League type movie and just craft a story that will focus on the character you want to focus on. In War, if you've read the graphic novel, Cyborg gets a lot of spotlight because basically his origin is told in War, and other characters get spotlight. So it's like each movie will have one character that gets a lot of spotlight, and the other characters will get, to lesser degrees, story development, and then they'll carry over to the next movie.
So we'll probably never get a Secret Six or Villains United story based on what you're saying.
I'd love to do Villains United. So, I mean, there's room for that. It's not like we're... But again, it might be a Villains United story. Not saying we're doing that, but it'd be like a Villains United story, but it would be captioned under a Justice League movie. So you'd have to...
Trinity War?
Excuse me?
Maybe Trinity War?
Okay.
Trinity War.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I haven't...
Infinite Crisis?
I don't think that there's enough movies to do all of that. Yeah, I mean, we'd have to set up the universe again to do that. But we're not going to be doing quite as many adaptations, so there won't be a lot of strict. Because from now, at least until the foreseeable future, we're kind of in the New 52 world, which won't. I mean, we can go back and tell classic stories. It'll just be redone under the New 52. We'll be deviating from the comics a lot because they're doing their own thing, and we can't sync up with everything they're doing. It's just,
can we put Eunice's contract back on the table? Can we put the file one back on the table? Eunice's contract?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
And Batgirl Year One.
Batgirl.
Year One.
Batgirl. Well, my goal for all the Justice League movies and the Batman movies is to include at least one character who hasn't appeared either on television or in the films. It's easier to do with the films because a lot of the films haven't covered the ground we cover on television. So I definitely would like to do a Batgirl-centered story. It wouldn't be Year One necessarily, because that, the truth is that's not going to sell. I hate to say it, but it just ain't going to sell. For whatever reason, they have a hard time selling that kind of stuff. Granted, that could be something that would be on Netflix or something that could, I mean, the thing about Netflix that, again, I was talking about is that it's open to niche markets, so you could do something for a smaller group and not have to worry about selling units.
Or Judas contract.
Judas contract?
Is never getting made.
Thanks, Gary.
I gotta move him along.
All right.
Judas contract.
Thanks.
Don't
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.